Hey peeps! Guess what today is?
Motivational Monday.
Not only Motivational Monday, but it's Q&A day.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So, last week you saw that we put up on Instagram that we were going to do a Q&A today. And so you guys were allowed to ask me questions. So, we have now opened it up. There's hundreds. There's hundreds. So, I don't know how many we're going to get to, but we're going to try to keep our answers, my answers, short enough that we can like pop through these for you guys. So, are you ready, Fab?
Let's do this.
Okay, first one. Okay, so best restaurants in Houston for pics. Who takes a picture in a restaurant?
Mastro's is a really good one.
Well, Mastro's because of the water wall, you know, but I don't know. I don't normally pick restaurants to take pictures in because they're usually dark. You know, most restaurants are very dark, and so I don't think you're going to get a great picture if you try to do pictures in restaurants. Mastro's is one thing, but still, you better have a good flash or some good lighting because it's still dark in there, even though they got that great water wall. During the day, it's a different story. But I don't really suggest taking pictures in restaurants because you're not going to get the best picture. What was the greatest challenge you faced in your life and how did you overcome it? Probably my greatest challenge was being told that I was going to be a sick kid and I would never be able to be a normal kid and never be able to have kids, and just like they pretty much gave me a death sentence when I was a little kid. So I would have to say that was probably my greatest challenge. I've had a lot of challenges in life, but that was probably the greatest one because it made me who I am today. Apart from being wealthy, have you ever fart in public and behaved like you didn't? I'm sure we've all farted in public and behaved like we didn't.
Who is that? You know what? We're going to put their name right up on the screen.
I'm going to put that name right on the screen because, like, who the hell asked that kind of a question? Have you ever thought about doing ASMR? I find your voice so soothing, Queen. What's ASMR?
When they whisper in the microphone and they make like little tapping noises.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of like, hey peeps, welcome back to my channel. Like talking very like that.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could whisper forever and ever and ever. I'm such an outgoing person. I don't know if I could just sit there and whisper. Wow. What advice can you give people who want to start their own brand but aren't sure where to start? First of all, you have to figure out what your brand is. You know, you could sit there and think about, oh, I should start my own brand, but have you actually identified what your brand is? I feel like a lot of my brand is motivation. Although my brand expands over decades, so it's everything from fitness to fashion to luxury to motivation. So I'm kind of a lifestyle brand per se, but most people are not a lifestyle brand. They need to kind of come down and figure out where do they actually fit in as a brand. Favorite things about living in Houston. Favorite thing about living in Houston, I would have to say that Houston is very diverse. No matter what ethnicity you are, I think you fit in here. I don't think you have to worry about whether you fit in or not. It's great that we have international airports so we can get wherever we want, whenever we want. You know, we probably need to address this one because we keep getting asked it. Whatever happened to Chris? We don't see him or even hear his voice in your background or videos. Well, first of all, Chris was hired to be an assistant, not an assistant like Fab. Fab is my audio visual. You're my social media assistant. Chris was hired to be an assistant in the house to take care of bookkeeping and errands and things like that. He was not ever meant to be on camera, and he's no longer with us. So, moving on. When buying LV, do you care whether it's made in USA or France or Spain? No. What kept you moving forward to achieve your goals even if the world was against you? You know what? You can wake up every day and feel like the world is against you, but where's that going to get you? I mean, like, Who says the world has to be on your side for you to be able to achieve things in life? You just have to know that you're on your side and you're your biggest advocate, and you're going to get out there and you're going to do everything possible to make shit happen. You know, a lot of times I wake up and feel like the world's against me because things aren't happening like I want it to, but I can't hold that against the world. It's like, it's not the world's fault, it's my fault, because I have not put into action the plan that it takes to make things happen. Shit just does not happen. You have to make it happen. What do I do for a living? Really? Apparently you're a new follower. One of the things I just did over the weekend was take 3 more tests to do my continuing education as a real estate agent too. So even though I wasn't feeling good over the weekend, I still was doing schooling to continue my continuing ed for real estate, which is one of many things I do. I am unlucky in love. How do you keep your husband interested in long term? That's not hard. You just come up with amazing things to do all the time. Like whenever my husband and I feel like we're kind of in a rut, we always take it back to like dating. You know, would he surprise me with something, or would I pull out some toys? Like, you know, you literally have to keep it interesting, because life in itself does not stay interesting. Life in itself, for a lot of people, becomes very boring and mundane. And so in order for life to be interesting, you have to make it interesting. That's why you put new goals out there all the time. That's why you do new things all the time. You know, when was the last time you did something fun and exciting that you've never done before, like skydive or whatever? That would make life interesting, right? So you've got to constantly put yourself out there and push yourself and do things that are interesting to make it interesting. What kind of advice do you have for people with depression and low motivation overthinking? Well, there's the internet. So with the internet, if you need motivated or inspired, you can put in motivational speakers, inspiration, like with the internet nowadays, you literally have psychologists and psychiatrists at your fingertips. There should be no reason why you if you can find YouTube, and if you can find Instagram, you can find other things on the internet to help you with depression. Go see a psychiatrist. Go see a psychologist. Like, I go see a therapist all the time to help me deal with my son's death and my brother's death and my father's death and all kinds of things. Like, it's not... You're okay if you have to reach out for help. It's no different than if somebody needs to reach out to a personal trainer to help them lose weight. It's okay. What is your favorite thing you do to keep yourself happy or make yourself happy? I wake up every day and I love myself first. And I know that this is my one and only life that I have. And so I need to wake up every day and make the best of it. Is 41 too old to start a business? Hell no. 41 is actually a great age to start a business. There's a lot of people that don't even run into becoming extremely successful until they're about the age of 50. So if you look back in life at people clear back to God knows in the 1800s, a lot of people did not even become successful until their late 40s and 50s. Most people don't become hugely successful in their early 30s, late 20s, early 30s. It takes time. You know, stuff just does not happen overnight. It takes time to build it up to where you can become successful. What is your favorite luxury brand? Of course, Hermes. What's the smartest way to invest for a first-time investor starting off? It just depends. You know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to invest in. You can invest in the stock market. You could invest in real estate. You could invest in art. I mean, there's a lot of things you can invest in. I don't know how much money you have to invest. And so, what was your biggest challenge financially? Probably my biggest challenge financially was trying to figure out how to own my very first health club. And with the help of a banker that knew me for years in the health club industry, and his help helping me get an SBA loan, that was probably one of my biggest challenges financially, was being a woman in the early 90s trying to figure out how to become a business owner because it seemed like it was a man's world. Should you be friends with people more often? I just tend to make friends basically anywhere. I'm not going to answer that one. You don't just become friends with people just to become friends with people. My friend circle is very, very small, very tiny, and I keep it that way for a reason. What do you think about Rich Lux's drama with Luscious? I unsubscribed to it. Well, it is what it is. Not everybody's going to see eye to eye all the time, but that doesn't mean you quit following them just because they've had a falling out with someone. Not everyone is supposed to come into your life for a lifetime. You've heard the saying, someone comes into your life for how's it go? People come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So not everyone that comes into your world for a lifetime. Some people are just there for a reason. And then when that reason's done, they exit out. Sometimes they come in for a season. Like I had an ex-business partner that was in my life for a while. And we're no longer together, but that doesn't mean that we're not friends. We're not close friends like we were, but we don't hate each other, So, what is your end game? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? In 10 years, I see myself even wealthier than I am now, more successful than I am now, and living my best life. What is the hardest part of your life? I've had a lot of hard parts of my life. You don't just have one. If you've only had one hard part in your life, you've lived a very sheltered life. Because in order for you to get through life, you're going to have a lot of hard parts of your life. Life is not supposed to be fun and enjoyable. Life is supposed to be full of lessons. And sometimes those lessons are very painful, but they're there for a reason because eventually someday when you get up there, you're going to understand what that lesson was all about and why you had to endure the pain that you had to endure. What are some goals you are having for the future? What's the one thing you regret the most? Oh, goals for my future. I have new goals every single day, guys. Go look at my vision board. Right, Fab?
Literally.
I have goals every single day. What's the one thing you regret most in life? You know what? I have no regrets. I have no regrets because everything I've done in my life, I've done with passion and for a reason. And if it didn't turn out, there was a reason for it. People look at failure like it's a person, and failure is not a person. Failure is an event. And just like when something happy ends up in your life, like your wedding day is an event. It's supposed to be happy. Well, failure is an event, but it just so happens to not be a happy moment. It's a sad moment, but it's an event, and it too shall pass, and you will move on and try something different. It's a lot of people think failure is a person, and it's just the most devastating. It's just an event, and it'll pass too, just like happy times pass in your life. What is your biggest accomplishment in high school? What was your biggest accomplishment in high school? Graduating. No, being a great athlete in high school was amazing. Lettering in all my sports was amazing. Favorite historical figure? Ooh, there's a lot. Thomas Edison, because we have light bulbs. Wow. Like.
Oh, I was thinking of.
What were you thinking?
Thinking like the Eiffel Tower, Statue of Liberty.
Oh my God. Favorite historical figure?
Like
you're thinking of an object. I think they meant person. What does your husband do for a living? Oil and gas. Boom. If you could give all of your wealth to one person, who would it be? It wouldn't be a person. You don't give all your wealth to one person. You give your wealth to many people, which I do on a daily basis. I give my wealth to different charities all the time. So you don't just give your wealth to one person, you spread it around. Let's see, what is the most beautiful place you've ever been to? A lot of beautiful places, but Croatia is at the top of my list. Croatia is one of the most beautiful places on this earth. Been there a couple different times and love it, love it, love it. What inspired you to start a YouTube channel? Rich Lux, actually. Actually, years ago, I was inspired to start a YouTube channel because somebody told me my life was interesting. And I was like, it is? And so I started a YouTube channel, didn't know what the hell I was doing, just got out there and started doing like 1 minute videos. We laugh now, right, Fab?
Yeah.
It was like, what was she doing? She was doing 1 minute videos. Oh my God. And somehow 9,600 people started watching my 1 minute videos. It was stupid, really. Like, I laugh now. Like, now I bust my ass to do 10 and 20 minute videos. Back then I was doing 1 minute videos and ended up with almost 10,000 followers, and I don't even know how. But anyways, somebody said my life was interesting, so I started trying to record it. And then, you know, somewhere in 2018, you know, Rich Lux came into my life and said, hey, you know, you really need to get serious about this because you've got a lot to offer. And I was like, I do? So anyways, what is your favorite bag at all time? I can't even tell you because that would be like asking me to pick my favorite kid. What drives you to work hard every day? Because every day is a new day to create something amazing. Remember, guys, you only have this one life, and you don't know when God's going to take that life away from you. He may say, okay, today's the day, you're done.
I'll be like, wait.
Right? And you're going to be like, wait a minute, I'm not done.
Just a couple more.
And he's going to go, you're done. I'm pulling the plug. So, you don't know. Like, Fab. Fab, have you got that checking account started yet?
Not yet.
What if God came tomorrow and said, Fab, your last day is next Friday?
That would be very upset.
But I'm just saying.
I didn't get to do what I wanted to.
Right. But the only reason you haven't gotten able to do what you want to do is because of why? Because you haven't done it.
Just haven't done it. Don't look at me in the camera like that.
But I'm just saying, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for God to say, Fab?
Yeah, no, definitely not.
You only got one more year left.
Definitely not.
No.
No.
So hopefully this week,
Oh, for sure.
he's going to take, I don't even care if it's $10. He's going to take $10 to the bank and open a checking account so that he can take PayPal and Venmo payments so that he can start these makeup classes.
Consider it done.
So a week from today, on that following Monday, we're going to see if Fab has that checking account open yet.
Yes. I'll bring the little receipt.
Yes, I want to see the receipt that says checking account's now open. And I can Venmo him and say, here's my money for the makeup class that I'm attending.
I'm like, I haven't gave you a date yet.
I don't care, I bought the ticket. Would you let me come to the makeup class, or would you think or would I be a distraction?
No, I definitely would love to have you there. It'll kind of give me a sense of seeing one familiar face.
I would kind of make you calm.
Yeah. I'll be like...
You wouldn't be as nervous?
Yeah. Because I think with a bunch of strangers, I'll be like... But just to have one person who I know is just... Who I just know, it'll be more...
It'd be my luck. He'd be like, Theresa, can you come to the front, please?
Can you be my model?
So, let's see. How do you separate your career and your family life? It's real easy. Because my husband doesn't like this. And you know, my social media's on here, my YouTube's on here, like everything's on here. And so literally when we are together, I'm not on this. Unless I want to walk up to my office, close the door, and get on this. But what really helps also is my husband being in oil and gas. A lot of his emails are on his phone or on his iPad, and a lot of times both of us are answering emails after dinner. So, you know, you just have to know when it's time to put this away. And I don't care if it's this or an iPad or whatever, but you just have to know that there's times where you're together. Like if we're together at dinner, I'm not going to pull this out. This, you know, this is on silent, it's in my purse, and it's put away. Same with his phone, you know. Sometimes after dinner, we might both pull out our phones, see what we've missed real fast, and then we put our phones back. So you just have to know when is the right time to work and when is not the right time to work. Your next travel destination. For work or play? I mean, like, you know, because right? Because I'm like, I travel all the time for both. So, what kind of food? What kind of food do you eat?
Salads.
Everything's plant-based. I'm pretty much plant-based or Mediterranean-based with chicken and fish. That's basically it. Who do you find inspiring? Me. Well, I've always found Zig Ziglar to be inspiring, and I've recently been turning Fab onto him. But there's a lot of inspiring people, and I was just telling Fab back in the day, before we had the internet, we had to actually drive to big convention centers to listen to motivational speakers such as Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar. Where now you can just, it's on the internet. You don't even have to like go and see them in person. You just sit and watch it on the internet. I love Joel Osteen, not only because he's motivational, inspirational, but because he's godly. And I think we all need that in our lives. But I really wouldn't have to, I can't really say it's one person. How do you go back to work after being disabled for 15 years and have nothing, no family, no car, no nothing? Well, going back to work can be a lot of different things. Going back to work can be going back to work for yourself. So if you're self-employed and you're working from home, maybe you're doing some type of clerical work, long distance for someone. My CPA does everything long distance. I don't even see my CPA. I see her a couple times a year, maybe, but she does everything remotely. I know a lot of people that work from home, on the internet, clerical type work, medical billing, all that kind of stuff. They don't have to go to an office, so they don't need to have transportation. I mean, like that's the world that we live in now, is you can do so much work from your home that you don't even have to leave your home. Like, I have a sister that lives in the remote area of Nebraska, and she crochets. I don't crochet, but she crochets. She does baby blankets and clothes and baby booties and you name it. I mean, like, and she sells this stuff and she makes a living, and she doesn't even have to leave her house. So, whether you don't have any family or you don't have any transportation or whatever, you do not necessarily have to even leave your home to be able to do some kind of work. Which would you choose, Chanel or Hermes, and why? Hermes, just because I love Hermes. What's your favorite food as of right now? Salads. Who was your biggest role model growing up? I would have to say Corey Everson. She was a female bodybuilder. Rachel McLeish and Corey Everson. I'm dating myself, but I don't care. Those were the two women in the 80s that I loved looking up to, 70s and 80s. Of course, Christy Brinkley. Like, who didn't want to be Christy Brinkley growing up? She was just, and to this day, she's still beautiful, right? How can I find value in the world? How can you find value in the world? Well, you don't have anywhere else to, like, the earth is where we live. Like, where else are you going to find value? Like, you need to find value in yourself first. You need to figure out, why did God put you on this earth? He didn't put you on this earth to sit and feel sorry for yourself. He put you on this earth because you were supposed to do something great while you were here. So you need to dig deep down into your bootstraps and figure out, why am I here? Why did God bless me with a life? It wasn't just to sit here and take up air and feel sorry for yourself. There was a reason. You need to find what your purpose is in life. There is a purpose for you. You need to figure out what it is. Nobody can tell you what it is. You got to figure it out. What does it feel like to be famous and successful? First of all, I've never looked at myself as famous, because I think when you let your success go to your head and you think you're all that, then you're not as humble anymore. And my mother always taught me to stay humble. No matter how successful or how wealthy you become, you still need to remember who you are, where you came from. I'm still that little girl that was raised on the ranch and have all my morals and beliefs. And so I think as long as you stay humble and you remember who you are, where you came from, and you don't let it go to your head, then you're good. How can I feel good with money if my friends are less wealthy? Because I have never let anyone that I'm around know whether I'm wealthier than them or poorer than them. Because true friendship doesn't matter. We don't give a crap who's got more money or who's got less money. That's not part of the picture. You're friends with somebody because of who they are. Because of who they are and their morals and their values and their integrity and what their ethical values are. Like, you're not with someone because, they're rich. They're going to be my friend. That's the worst person you want to be friends with, because that's not what true friendship is based on. True friendship is based on, if somebody's sicker than a dog, I'm there with chicken noodle soup and I'm helping them. If someone's lost someone special in their life, I'm there babysitting them. I'm with them. Money has nothing to do with friendship whatsoever. Did you ever live in Beverly Hills before Texas? No, I lived in Orange County, California, Irvine. How did you tear yourself away from the stability of being an employee? Because I hated being an employee. I hated having to answer to someone else. I hated being told I had to work this hour to this hour. As much as I hated it, I treasured it. Because that's part of what helped teach me to be a good employer myself, was taking notes on how I was treated and what worked and what didn't work in my eyes. And so when I became an employer and had employees, I took to note. I noticed everything, all the notes that I had taken as an employee of what I thought worked and didn't work. And so as much as, you just know that you're not cut out to be an employee. I was always one of those kids in high school and even in junior high and grade school. My mind was always out there looking out the window, thinking of everything I could be doing instead of what I was doing in school. But like I said, there's always going to be people that are employers, and there's always going to be people that are employees. There are people out there that like the comfort of knowing that every 2 weeks they have a secure paycheck. This is my paycheck. I'm going to get this paycheck every 2 weeks. I can count on it. And for those people, thank God we have people like that. Hallelujah. But for me, I didn't care whether I knew if I had a check or not. I knew that I had to get out there every day and bust my ass to make sure I had a check of some kind. And so that's pretty scary. Sometimes, and that's the part about being self-employed, is that you cannot rely on someone else to do the work for you to get you that money. You literally have to get out there and bust your ass every single day so that you can make some kind of money. Like Fab, before he came to work for me, he was literally out there probably every day busting his ass trying to figure out, how can I get someone to hire me to do their makeup?
Yep.
Because he walked away from a retailer, and knowing when he walked away from that retailer, he had to figure out how to get out there and make sure someone wanted to hire him every day to do their makeup.
Yes.
So that he could make a living. So, there's pros and cons. There's always and you cannot make someone that is dedicated to just having that paycheck every 2 weeks, you can't make them become self-employed. They'll never become self-employed because they like that comfort of knowing every 2 weeks I have a check. Every 2 weeks, I'm not going to be worried. I can make my house payment. Every 2 weeks, I just, those people, and God bless them, we need those people in life. But you're not that kind of person when you say, to hell with it, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make money every single day. Because no one's going to hand it to me. I don't know. You just... Not everybody's the same in this world. That's just the bottom line. Not everybody's the same. What are one of your big goals for 2020? Ooh.
Just one?
I have so many for 2020. Watch for the big screen. That's all we can say, right?
Watch for the big screen.
That's all we can say. Would you move to LA? Yes. What makes you want to be so kind every day? Why not? What's the flip side of being kind? Being an asshole? Who wants to be known to be an asshole? I'd rather be known to be kind. I always was taught when I was a little kid, treat others the way you'd like to be treated yourself. So if you want to be treated nice, then you better start treating people nice. What do you think, Fab?
Woo!
We have answered so many, and there's so many more to go.
The list goes on and on.
So the list goes on and on. There's hundreds in here, guys. But at least this kind of gave you a little bit of an insight of more of me and my world. I have so many people that follow me and are intrigued by me and what I've done in my life. But I'm here to tell you guys, you can do the same thing, you know. But you're not going to be in your 20s, and it's not going to just happen overnight. You're not going to be 18 or 20 or 21, and it's just you're going to click your fingers and it's going to happen overnight. It takes time, and it takes a lot of dedication and a lot of hard work, and it takes believing in yourself, and it takes writing goals down in order for things to happen in your life. Even as a little girl, I didn't have a whiteboard when I was a little girl, but I did have a piece of paper. And so I would constantly write down. My mother thought it was called doodling. I don't call it doodling. I called it writing down what I wanted to have happen. Like if I was taking pictures of houses in Beverly Hills, I was writing down, I want to live in a big house like that someday. You know, I mean, like, so, you know, I'm a firm believer in writing down your goals and making those, and coming up with a plan to make those goals happen. Right, Fab?
Yes.
Fab's learning.
100%.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you enjoyed. Can you hear the workers in the background?
Yeah.
Yes, you know, and we're in the closet and we've got the doors closed and we still have that kind of noise. So, but once again, got to have that water wall work. It's been a goal of mine for 7 years. We're making it happen. We came up with a plan. So guys, just get out there, live your best life, and don't let other people get in your way. And for most of the part, get out of your own way. Because most of the time you're the only person standing in the way of your success because you're not going after what you want. Guess what, guys? Guess what went live on the website today? Woo-woo! The new revamped candle line. Yes! So go check out the candles. They're live on my website now. They're the new revamped candles. It's the new TR candle. It's 100% all natural soy. They're triple scented, all natural cotton wicks. They are to die for. And when you blow out the candle, you can actually take the hot soy wax or the hot soy and rub it on your skin as a oil. So get over to my website, check out the new candle lines. They're beautiful. It's live today on my website. They're so pretty, and there's 9 different scents. So I can't wait for you guys to get some and try them and give me your feedback. So with that said, guys, until next time, bye-bye.